So I'm here with Dr. Evan Berk. So, Dr. Berk, what would you say to someone who's on the fence or is just getting or looking at Salesfuze? What has been your experience so far with us?
Well, so far, I've been nothing but thrilled actually with the transparency of what you plan on doing for me, uh, the the long-term plan, the short-term plan. I really enjoyed the aspects of seeing some type of plan for the future. Looking at your plan and seeing those big numbers of what I would spend, meaning that's how much I'm actually making based on the platforming that you have. I thought that was fabulous to see that there's not just a short-term plan of implementation, and then it's the same plan month after month after month, because most of the other companies seem to have uh, that one level of what you're going to do, and that's what they're going to keep on doing and just do more of it. Whereas you have, concepts of book book writing, implementation, expansion, and obviously my plans for my business are expansion. So I need a company that's going to expand with me, and it seems like you have the infrastructure for that. Um, Straight from the get-go, when the first tech called me, Brandon had me on the phone. I had a one-on-one session with him to get implementation started. I had Pam, I have you. There's a lot of support as well through the initial stages and the initial process to get going.
I know you had some difficulties with your social media, and this was ongoing prior to us, obviously, for a long time, which was really frustrating you. So I want you to make a comment of what that was like when we came out and how we solved your problem of of your social media issues, from the name change to execution. What was your experience with our team with your social media?
Yeah, well, that's, because of COVID, my biggest issue was I needed social media as my only platform to start getting patients in the door. And I think even if it wasn't COVID, social media is one of the most influential ways to get a real kind of a one-on-one feel for that patient or that prospective patient, to see you and to be able to reach out to them and to have follow through. So it was very upsetting that I was with my social media was kind of fractured into different areas, and most of my eggs were in one basket because of the promises they made. And of course, I won't say who it was, but literally in I want to say 3 weeks, the first 3 weeks of being with driving for Salesfuze, I uh, I saw 90% more movement than with the first company after 4 or 5 months with them. So one of the things that was clear right away was how effective your strategies were. The implementation that they said they were going to do, uh, amongst Facebook. Uh, I had Instagram and I had Twitter and I had a bunch of other platforms that we were going to be uh, setting up and then combine. There's combinations like Facebook will join with Instagram and things will be loaded. And I mean, at every level, they failed. And at every level, you guys had me set up immediately, including contacting my website host to actually implement things through the website that weren't being done as well, to connect and to be able to garner leads and be able to target those leads down the road with future programs that we have for advertising. So it was really, it was a blessing that the other guys didn't work out, because I honestly was looking at your company before I ever began my new regenerative medicine corporation. And just for my chiropractic corporation, I was looking at you guys because of the depth with which it seemed you had all the areas of social media covered. And like I said, things were so fractured and also not working right and also not creating any leads. Within 3 weeks, I think I've had, I don't even know how many, 3 or 4 weeks now. It's probably 15, maybe more leads with a bunch of people walking in the door that were pre-qualified for the ads. So the ads weren't really any at all effective, nor were we garnering future demographics of these people because of the lack of infrastructure of these other companies. And Brandon immediately got me, going with switching over my chiropractic stuff to my new Elite Integrated Medical platforms, which wasn't that easy. The other companies were like, no, we got to wait, and you got to put in a request, and you got to wait for the change. And they kept telling me every 2 or 3 weeks, well, the change hasn't taken place yet. Brandon had it changed in 3 days. I mean, the obvious level of intelligence and of application with Salesfuze was way beyond. And I couldn't have been happier, because there's nothing worse than sitting around and drying up your internal marketing and waiting for external marketing to work, and the phones aren't ringing, and then all of a sudden, bam, you switch over to Salesfuze. They dial in my Google, they dial in my Instagram, they connect my Instagram to my Facebook, they change the Facebook name, and I've got patients coming in the door, and I have a database that's growing. That none of that was happening literally 3 or 4 weeks ago. So yeah, I'm just thrilled with knowing that there's future plans and immediate integration.
Well, I love it. And how has your staff adapted with not having to deal with all these other moving parts and just qualified appointments being made by Salesforce? How has their lives changed and their attitudes dealing with the patients?
Yeah, it's been a big weight off our shoulders, because the integration of the AMI system and converting from just a chiropractic clinic to an integrated medical clinic has enough issues to take care of from an administrative standpoint. And they were having to check emails that were coming in from the website through the other companies I was using for social media. And then they were text messages. So they were sitting up there trying to answer phones, trying to bring patients in, trying to do collections when the patient's on their way out, trying to look at the emails, trying to look at the texts. And it was just a nightmare. And I, honestly, actually felt bad for them that they were under so much stress. And I knew somehow from, there had to be a company, there's got to be some company somewhere that is going to help me with all of it and the future, and have a book, and have my staff freed up so they can do what they're supposed to do in the front. And, like I said, I was very thrilled to see that your platform included direct access for all the advertising to funnel through your company, for your company to answer the phones, for your company to set up the appointments. And honestly, Pam could have been better at helping us fuse our calendar with you guys, so that you guys could do live time updates of our calendar, so we don't double book patients. I mean, every step of the way, your company's been able to come up with an answer for the needs we had, and for me to help me free the staff up from the heaviness of all the contacts and appointment booking, and really solve the problem of double booking. And we book something, but then we have to look on the internet to see what this other company booked, and then we have to go look at our text messages from this other company to see about that patient that wanted. Then they don't get answered right away. And obviously in this world, people have an attention span of about 30 seconds. So if they don't get an answer from their text, and you text them back 2 hours later, like, oh, thanks, but I already found somebody. So, every aspect of how your company covered our butts is a blessing, and is actually coming to fruition with patients coming in the door, and my staff being freed up to do what they're supposed to do, not run around like chickens with their heads cut off, wondering what they're missing, what they have to do next, and me worrying about what they're missing, and then me looking at the text. I mean, I was getting texts and emails on my phone. They're getting texts and emails at the front desk. you know, it's just it was a nightmare to have to try to keep track of everything, and now we don't.
Yeah, it's nice getting you out of that administrative role and putting you in the healer role, which is what you're meant to do. And then
Yeah.
having and I know just from other staff burnout, it really by 12 o'clock they are just spun out. So it's nice that they're able to focus on the patients, and do exactly what they were hired to do. So I know that's great. And we look forward to an absolute wonderful journey with you. Can't wait for you to finish up your book template. So I know I keep checking in on you
Yeah.
to make sure, because we want to do a really cool premiere on your book, on your national press release. So we're really excited to keep building this brand in the community. Just watching you help people. I know you got some really cool video testimonials,
Oh
a
yeah.
lot of people that you've helped. So we're looking forward to getting that out there, letting people know who you are, how you can help them, and just keep building that brand name and keeping you fresh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keeping you
That's
out of that minutia so you can focus on helping people.
Yeah, and that's the biggest issue. Like I said, that's been a big relief is the fact that you know, any company that wants to thrive, you have to target the the value of each worker and be able to help them maximize their potential. And when you don't have when they don't have the time to do their specific jobs, then they're all getting chopped down a little bit in terms of how much they can produce. So when their brains are scattered all over the place, uh, you know you're not getting the right production, and you know you're missing some flow, and you know you're missing some patience. So you're getting clipped left and right and center, and then you're getting staff burnout. So I think the you know that's one of the main aspects of what we have going with driving for Salesfuze is that um, we can help the staff take a step back and relax and do their job and enjoy their job versus getting stressed and burnt out. And I'm not constantly worrying about what are we missing and what didn't we see and did you check? I mean, I was literally asking them 15 times a day. Did you check the email? Did you check the text? It's just that alone is worth worth the weight of gold in what you guys have brought to the table. And of course, like I said, you know, my book is going to obviously be a #1 bestseller, and so
Absolutely.
Barnes and Noble better start making some room on the shelves. I've got titles that people are going to eat up alive. I think I have the name of my book, but I won't disclose it here yet.
Gotcha. Yeah. And I look, Dr. Berk, thank you for taking the time out and speaking with us. This has been an
Yeah,
absolute wonderful.
of course.
I know when we first started, your frustration was really, really, I mean, at DEFCON 10 or whatever level you want to call it. And the fact we were able to alleviate that, deliver what we promised we were going to deliver, and then continue to grow and keep putting these strategies in place to fulfill your massive vision you have for your practice is why we're in business and why we're happy that we're working together and able to do things like this. Makes us happy on our end. So I really appreciate you taking the time and doing this with me.
Yeah, well, Sam, I appreciate you and your whole staff so far. You know, availability for you guys. I get answers back immediately. I get implementation immediately. Everything is literally done, you know, a 180 in terms of being able to sleep at night, having less issues on my plate, having look a big factor in in the function of a brand new practice, which is the social media and garnering leads and getting patients to the door. Uh, I rest much better at night knowing I have you guys behind me. So thanks for taking me on and doing what you do. I mean, you know, I scoured the world of internet, and I'm sure everyone out there that hears this has gotten 300 emails a week from people that claim to have a platforming and an SEO this and an SEO that, and you know, on closer inspection, though, you know, the problem is as a consumer, you don't know who can do what they say they're going to do and who can't. And I can tell everybody out there that you guys are the real deal versus you know, mom and pops, which, you know, look, you guys are kind of mom and pop also, but
Yeah.
you have yeah, you have it down right, and you have the follow through, and that's the biggest. You know, people can talk the talk, but it's until you walk the walk, and you guys fulfill both. So I really appreciate you, and thanks for everything you guys are doing, so I can sleep at night and grow huge.
That's our pleasure, and that's our goal. So I want to again thank you so much for taking the time
Yeah,
to be on here, and can't wait to see you at one of the events or our next
yeah,
trip out to California. So to me, that I'm really excited, looking to break bread with you and doing even bigger things together.
yeah. It's 80 degrees. Come on out. The rest of the country's frozen.
Right?
I'll meet you in
Perfect.
Texas.